maybe a COVID a buyer and Ukraine war ye buyer. MPP for one can say Sans and Soro and Ama fuel no air costro. In fact, that time my opponents I say there be Sanemano and you know cre Moana Muntimu or many Sanemano ASA. And nay, who say Iran, Iraq, Iran, US for war in so Ama fuel no check out the international honor. Dimse na air costro. MPF catches if you're diesel no ebe free baby ona kudrube 17 emwashi ye petrol no so konanim enso emwashi pa na obaji atum se enkoma amudi kire debi no san komo na ewo nyina so enti ne nke be ya nke me emfa petrol no ene nyema ye ni controls no emfa nye politics.
Well, many opinion, but me Michelle Pabio, and I'm Michelle TF1 Washer 4. Mekaipa during the global crisis in the 2020-2021, and I'm not going to follow, and then I'm buying encounter Russia-Ukraine war, COVID, my supply chains, it disrupted, my affected the BI work Ghana generally, you know, I can't any normal NDC for any anything. But the idea, I think we have to still be consistent on the basis of principle. No, the cost of no, any the I there la from 3 years ago. No, I think which is as a country, no, we don't live in an island, part of the global environment. And today, they see what baby a bit many so for a party as MPP, enemy and I'm time I think I have to be consistent to say the air cost of NA is as a result of the AC or the global space. It is becoming very clear. Say what the oppose no is exactly what is playing out as at now. Now, offer petrol prices now, in your opinion, exchange rate, no, it plays about 30% in the calculation. What it means is 70% of it is about taxes, levies, and predominantly the global prices of crude oil or the international price of crude oil. It will be kaya, NDC for by Bemwa, now crude price and then I'm $60, $65. As some more catch and say, "Abai papa," and that's because of more superior managerial skills ability, and petrol prices now could do 11, maybe could do 10. Somewhere now bet or more by papa petrol price above from by papa. At that time, we kept reminding them, say another danko time, and the petrol went as far as $120 per barrel. $120 per barrel. During that time, we were telling them, say, Nanado does not have too much control because we don't control the international price. As I no say, the managerial skills no ever form. And then, when you say petrol from Ochineko, the prices of petrol and diesel no more than the Nanado Danko Kufuado Edija in January 2025. It means the international price has a dire effect on the petrol prices are about from Ochina. And for me as a politician, I said okay, it's a lesson to me also. Say no maybe a young politician who to me I see I try to ensure so we don't politicize it so much. Me MPP and free because there are some issues that I know and I've heard some the communicators from my party they use it for political gains. But when the reality dawned on us, it became very clear say they need control. And then international price they do 115. Don't forget say petrol window every 2 weeks. Petrol beton is here and 105, 105. And the crapona edu say you. You could imagine say if the petrol price continues to go up and from the earth from Trump and or more involved in the war, it is likely. In fact, I'm reading a Bloomberg report that suggests it can move as far as 130 to 150 dollars per barrel. When that happens, maybe it will be a big challenge.
Now, Honorable, minim say Oshe Sanye prices no esitia there are a lot of taxes so also nipa de nka ubu omaya sebio ohwe kwan abefa so a omanfo so eho ebeto mo now so what me sacrifice kakra ohwe tax build up a ewo petroleum adina eho behia se aban bitimi atu anamon bi na waye ho bibia na me kai say enche bi enam de 1 Ghana 1 liter bi edito enti emre bi a aban bitimi ayese onso sachira ne sakra sebe ya adoform so eho beto wana
kwame se wo bekai a ye dey 1 Ghana cedi bay ye debate on the floor me and I'm leading the debate from our side sabre no doctor atoforso e ka kire say 1 Ghana cedi no mo dey ba no emma petrol prices na enkoso and that we've made some significant gains on the exchange rates. And then my argument on the floor was that and so we are careful if you rely only on the strength of your currency as a basis to increase levies and taxes because there are other components we don't control. So Brent crude no $60. It's no na omudi to omo $60 dollar no crab 10 cedis. It's no the 1 Ghana cedi be kan okra no it can never go beyond the 14 Ghana cedis and I've done kwekufuado in terms of petrol price but we argued and we told them say exchange rate in the calculations is 30% and that there's a 70% component that you need to me. So let's be careful in just dwelling on the strength of the exchange rate and some favorable conditions on the international markets to increase taxes and levies. The cancer say win money yen nyadwene the akosi say any day uko mi Facebook page macro say it is time for the government to do something about the levies. In fact, at the time we have what we call the stabilization levy and then omakani nyina boom any other levies omakani nyina boom a omo friend energy shortfall levies and recovery levy. Maka say, if not for anything at all, there has to be some suspension of some of the levies on petroleum products. In fact, some of the African countries have taken that step. I think in Namibia also, almost by 50%. Almost suspended some taxes and levies by 50% for the next 3 months. Almost share how the international markets of crude oil price will go for the next 3 months. It's an Abai must immediately, and I've said this. Name the department, it's a president, I say, one catch the finance minister, any energy minister, say, Omunshia, no one can imagine no one share a plan on the Faswa, a cushion the Ghanaian people. Now, in the petroleum build up, Abai control, it is the exchange rate, Abai economic management can bring down, and the taxes and levies. These are the two things that Abai will control over. And they are prices no kwa na ekono Abai must take immediate steps and we've called on it. In fact, last 3 weeks or 2 weeks minority a press conference me and I'm leading that press conference I indicated say Emrasu said the 1 Ghana cedi no omode buy they should take a second look at it and if possible take it off at least to cushion the Ghanaian people. We've made that call and the president has also instructed the finance minister and any energy minister Omunshia. Up to now they don't have any feedback from them. From the way things are going, MPA, Chief Executive, Lawyer Tamaklo, as some of kind said, prices continues to go up. Government must intervene. The only way government will intervene is to subsidize or take out some of the levies. And I support your call. A call that the minority have been very, very forceful about, have been clear in our minds. Say, baby, Abai must take some necessary steps to reduce the levies or suspend some of the levies, at least for the meantime, so that the consumer will be cushioned. Don't forget the transport owners for no a sounded alarm. Say Abai and fat petrol, they will have no option but to increase transport fares. What that means is that it will have a rippling effect on other sectors of the economy because we increase transportation, food prices will go up. If we are not careful, inflation single digits, it might inch up in the next window.
There's a UTF for say, never be to say no me and find yet politics that more so na modie. Dika, how can you say them themselves with one munina or the betu mohofo? Say, says here, woy, oh, here near US for ya. as a dimoni we are the young Yajan say a chow. Enti say ye one gano and ye be young friso, still out to me say, Qua never couldn't him. The Gusaya Quadanima, Honorable Yawa Kunya Frubi, Ewo, Layman de Bacasa, maybe President Kufoka Becassi or oil, a be our. Nanti ada da yang kasa ye de ne ntimi ntu fan support ye ho sa ye argument e wo no sa man for raise ya legitimate na
legitimate concern no credit to oil wa ha. Unfortunately the quantity of oil are too ha no raw crude oil nti ye de kwa amanone ne akọ refine na e de aba the difference is that said utu ha o se untu ha o se Ghana for kwa ye to that raw oil no from Talo for no to Hanwa, they will sell it to you at the international price, an international transaction. In 20 minutes, because Utu Ghana, or Beton Ghana, or Beton on $90, I brought the world market price no, 115, or a private player into a show 90, any 120, now he will definitely sell to the highest bidder. And in those oil transactions, the prices are set on the international market. In 20 minutes, they too are on turn amount at a cheaper price. The only difference you can have, and they say, Kato, if Tor was working at full capacity, see the Bakwa near the freight, aside if you have bano, there are certain costs and can be free so amount that the freight costs near the insurance I will be clear on the shipment, no, and no the from Kaka amount. But apart from that, the price of crude oil it is set internationally. The another gain for us, they say. This answer yes, we export some of the crude oil. No, it could do 115. Said it means that your revenues will increase at that level. Unfortunately, so we just oppose the increment in the revenues that you bring from the sale of our crude oil on the international market, as against the demand of refined products. Now, the comparison now, obviously we are still a net importer of refined product. And no matter how it is, we'll be hit. Now, the company became a friend of Bust. The whole idea of Bust was a strategic reserve. And by this time, say in petrol prices and now crude oil price akosro and Bust or was stock be da or torn at the time and not crude oil price maybe 80 or 90. Let's just say stock can feed the country for now. Said the big economists no one. It be China say 1 year stock. America they acquire more than 1 year stock. Into the cost war international markets, they will not be affected that much because more a strategic reserve. As some American come from just this particular government because I think all successive governments have not done so well in improving on the reserve capacity or reserve stock of at Bust. BBC is here. I think we should have a rethink as a country. Maybe a year no. What it means is that these things can happen. A bit may CBU until we should take a very deliberate policy direction. Say, Bust should revert back to its core mandate of being a strategic reserve. Say all the fuel like a war Ghana hanging now. But Ghana, all the fuel we have in Ghana now are in the hands of private individuals. What it means is a profit motive, a key to them. They do catch and say some of the margins and any premiums no only free so Obeka was said because he has to sell at a certain margin and at a certain premium in order to make enough money so that by your back they can buy at the higher price, which is anticipated to be. So that is where I think we should focus our attention on in the medium to long term. Maybe our buying should refocus the attention of boss. But immediately, what government can do, they say some of the taxes and levies, obit must
I see. Honorable, you were Darcy. Now, constituency, it's saying.
Tankopona Dominia, me free hobby doing kind, and anywhere. Bonibia, no pay them say, Bonibia, and there's a program you who said. During the last administration, we were able to put together building there a friend emergency center, a house, fire service, immigration, and an admo. Because of that building, and because you're attaining a district status, a district fire office, or more deploy nipa ho. and now me no ka say omode at the city be two me name for mattresses ne beds ne nyoma na me adom me timi I provided that for them and the presentation will be done the constituency chairman ebijina my name that presentation to the district fire command me say omo launch a program bi omo friend no fire extinguisher, one house, one fire extinguisher. My memo commander no made na buy horn. We're very proactive. Or feel say it is better to prevent than to allow for the incident to happen on Sana So that program will be launched today. Personally, I will not be around, but as I said, I've made sufficient arrangements and I've provided the materials. Almost requested from me, and it will be done. The presentation will be done on behalf of myself by my constituency chairman and DC on Sotia Kunyam.
Honorable Iwadas Yamaka. Honorable Adumako Mensa Collins. I don't know who wrote that name. Honorable Collins Adumako Mensa is the Honorable Member of Parliament for Afija Kwabre North and the Deputy Ranking Member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Energy. Samiche, been watching that pay at the same
the legend doctor now about the say or the first quarter of the year.
Salam, it is gradually becoming clear sir Samiche or ton request coupons no by be because it's surprising that every day you know, wish them baby. I mean, say, Omushan Wahi, and Omodi Amano. I don't know, but because every day, oh,
also tells you, say, I'm on for PFM.
Now, I don't know about how
they say, although a teacher say a politician, I'm on for. So, you know, say, if you price we barrel na car, 8 cities, but there's also freight, insurance. Any account for the same crowd 11 cities. The Akani na by 13 taxes, and they are to a fuel. So, and say, Kuya one can mention figures in the bank, can mention tax after tax. I walk Kruma. Then there's a list of taxes or energy fund levy, your sanitation and pollution levy, your price stabilization and recovery levy, your energy sector levy, special petroleum tax, road fund levy, energy debt recovery levy, unified pricing petroleum fund, primary distribution margin, boost margin, fuel marketing margin, marketers margin, dealers retailers operations margin. So far they will say yeah abolish here sanitation and pollution levy na these budgets in the film. To not relate to markets about 10 or 11 levies in the home. It be once in a percentage per liter. It be 0.5%, maybe 0.1%. We just see 12, 10% was a bit their account. But then so at the amount for can I say, maybe I could read so share and offer price I say, assume it's a petrol than 15, now we them 17 diesel. Now for petrol 15.9 now. I got 16 cities. So if I say the 15 cities, a gallon of petrol air 4.5 liters, meaning 4 liters and a half. That means 4 liters in Umkwabemo, 60 cities. Half of 15 cities in Memo, 50%. Who will talk 1 grammaton in 67 cities. Wow. It is a government, yes, or Isa 1 city in every soir. That means obey 4 cities, 50 pesos in every so. So 67 cities, you know, BAM says 63 or so cities.
Rebecca 63.
And I think it's a huge relief. Government is to consider. And then, instead of, because I don't want to, Obi talk Tangola.
So once the per liter.
Per liter. And the Obi talk Tangola, you know, once you would buy 45 cities. At least a relief. And I did Babusa suggest and say, it's still still at 10 or 11 cities now. By now, I say no. Kadona number 15 cities now, or multiply by $105, $15, and then I hear some kitwa. So now, the president can say, oh, even though the price of oil is, you know, still the strength of our city, you know, and my price is still stabilizing. But then the news you can see because I mean, I say the shortage of the price of reference say for Lagos, it means we consume more dollars. And can in here by $600,000-$700,000 and they go cry fuel every quarter. And then that I'm laying at $65 per barrel. He said, I call almost times 2. And the other said, $1 billion they be here from Bank of Ghana, they go crowd. The friends say, oil. This is the case of Bank of Ghana release every month, we release $1 billion. So it means one year on the quarter of month, you know, about $1 billion now. And no crowd, and so be this, you know. Maybe I come, I go a move for a coconut for 114. Then when it happen like that, then it means demand begin to exceed supply. And the moment it happens like that, you know, ever see the follow, the price of your friends say, dollar begin to appreciate. And this is in a dollar and why they can because as of now we are still managing. And travel longer, a better person will demand for dollar very much. And the more demand for dollar near much, you know, Emma see enough for the price of dollar because that is one. Another one is say the higher the price of fuel, no, the higher the price of TNT, which in the long run will cause a different inflation. Then inflation they affect it too. One, a direct one, you don't turn about money body. Two, affecting interest. Because interest are calculated on interest plus anticipated inflation.
Yeah.
A very three-faceted problem. Price of fuel cost, never boy a day, Okobusia Kranusa, and also cost. There's a day he can carry idea say, I did to be the here are the sum of our month. Remember for your question, a baby. Now, see, I'm between
oh, nobody today you are better off because was a a factor Mboka Pow.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for Uber, Mboka Pow.
And
because if you look at the
time, it's not timely.
Yeah, the Kumasi Uber no ne a boat so say my arrangements so maintain. See the way the Apple Apple age man. Me hunu ni ntia. Kumasi boat drivers on one some more mechanisms some good train news there do. See before Uber order for boats. The first exercise on our app on and say, Obetica look at baby wow, because I would down.
Sure.
Now, wow, can Chaka be a opesa oko, and to be a wujidam, and the baby a okon, and all shahoka, or for time traffic, or for time choir war, now what more price. Such transaction now why will phones no, the same transaction, and now old driver no, on second, and answer old driver. Ober requesting and as Ober accept to say Ober fan so both for the and as Uber fan identify say nipa no ba bi ogida proximity una ben no enti wo na bi na kofa no enti wo accept ye no unim ba bi nipa no ogida unim ba bi a oko unim price a e buy kasa be ne wo sister ogida also wo kwan
West of ne say utimi obe fa no ka say o de wo offline
and deal
exactly oh yeah online booking no oba no ka say there be yes offline this idea exactly offline so bo e che online charge
say me say kubasen kwa na tisao
let me so observe so one thing on the app look at it so 5 minutes to destination
it may take 10 minutes.
I should talk 15 minutes.